The end of the 15-month conflict in Gaza is in sight, with Hamas and Israeli negotiators reaching a ceasefire agreement. If successful, the ceasefire will halt fighting that has razed much of the heavily urbanized Gaza and displaced most of the enclave's pre-war population of 2.3 million. This in turn could diffuse tensions across the wider Middle East, where the war has stopped conflict in the Israeli-occupied West Bank, in Lebanon, Syria, Yemen and Iraq, and raised fears of an all-out war between the arch-regional foes, that is Israel and Iran. The phase deal, expected to take effect on Sunday, that is January 19th, will see the Hamas swapping hostages with imprisoned Palestinians in Israel. The deal was formally announced by the US President Joe Biden, but it was President-elect Donald Trump who announced that a deal is being announced. 3 female Israeli civilian hostages are expected to be released on the first day of the ceasefire agreed by Israel and Hamas, according to a document shared by senior Hamas official Bassem Naim, according to reports. The ceasefire and hostage deal is expected to come into effect on 19th of January and will include 3 phases, each of which will last 42 days, according to the document. The first phase is expected to see the release of 33 hostages held in Gaza. According to the document, 3 female Israeli hostages will be released by Hamas on the first day, and then on the 7th day, Hamas is set to release 4 more. Following that, Hamas will release 3 Israeli detainees every 7 days, starting with women, civilians and soldiers, the document states. Well, for Biden, this deal marks a high point in his foreign policy legacy, the final redemption before he bows out. He will go down in history as the president who put an end to the bloodiest war in the history of Israel-Gaza conflict, a war that actually began in his own tenure. However, he shares the credit with his successor, Donald Trump. Biden, in his statement, said, "I would also note this deal was developed and negotiated under my administration, but its terms will be implemented for the most part by the next administration. In the past few days, we have been speaking as one team." Trump too did not shy away from taking credit, and he wrote, "This epic ceasefire agreement could have only happened as a result of a historic victory in November, as it signaled to the entire world that my administration will seek peace and negotiate deals to ensure the safety of all Americans and our allies," the president had said on his social media platform, The Truth Social. He added, "We have achieved so much without even being in the White House. Just imagine all of the wonderful things that will happen when I return to the White House." Trump added that his administration, including his special envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, will continue to work closely with Israel. Well, the fact is that Trump's assertions that he did not want to see the war continue in the Middle East may have spurred both sides to reach a solution. On January 7th, Trump had issued a warning, and he had said that if the hostages are not returned by the time he assumes office on 20th January, all hell will break out in the Middle East. Now, citing official sources, news agency Reuters reported it was fruitful participation by both Witkoff and Biden's Middle East envoy, Brett McGurk, in the last crucial 96 hours of negotiations that led to the finalizing of the ceasefire deal. Now, critics of the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu have often argued that he has foiled past agreements with Hamas for his own interest. A war with Palestinians would help him appease his far-right allies. A person familiar with the negotiations told Reuters that Witkoff was able to pressure Netanyahu into accepting the deal and moving quickly. The fact that Netanyahu first dialed up Trump and then Biden after the agreement was brokered indicates Trump's significant hand in the deal. But it's not a done deal yet. While it has been announced, it has to be formally ratified by the Israeli parliament. For ThePrint, this is Snehesh Alex Philip.